Goodington was Goodington. Welcome to another episode of Get Lifted 30 is a New 20. It's your boy SmileyJizzle, and I'm in the building right now. Um, the co-host not here right now. It's just me, Dolly, by myself. It's gonna seem like I'm talking to myself if any of my family pull up on me. But I'm in the building. Um, it's a few things that I wanna chit chat to y'all about. I'm gonna get right to it. I'm not gonna fuck around. Oh man, I'm happy, man. The week just started, man. It's Monday. Monday fun day. I mean, if you with me right now, you fucking with me because it's Monday and ain't shit else to do right now. So what the fuck this nigga talking about? So I appreciate anybody that's pulling up. If you pulling up, respect the house. Um, like, comment, share. I'll be talking about a few different things tonight. I just like to talk about mad different shit. Somebody pulled up and then they left. We pulling up and then leave. Stick around. Stick around. We gonna have a good time, man. My computer touchscreen, and I'm trying to use it. But I'm try to do this the right way. Let me get something. I gotta get some more equipment, yo, for real. Like this is annoying without having no equipment type shit. I know I'll be wanting to use my laptop so I could look up shit, so I could have more talking points for y'all. Cause I could talk forever, but I wanna fucking make sense. And I'm telling y'all nigga shit. So we are here. Happy Monday to anybody that pulled up. Happy Monday to y'all. You know what I mean? I'm about to get my J so we could get right to it. A few things that's going on. So with the hip hop news, what's going on in the hip hop world? This ain't nothing new for some people. Some people pulling up, it might be something new. Some people pulling up, it might be old news. I don't know. But I don't know if y'all know, but this nigga Kodak Black, he out here putting hits on me, motherfuckers. This is not no alleged type of shit. A nigga actually that's in this shit right now, locked up in the Bing right now, said that Kodak is the one behind the murder rap that he in there for. He paid him for it. So this shit's kind of crazy. Like when I be finding out this stuff, I be like, damn, like this is why these motherfuckers be online all day. Because it be so much information that be out there. Like niggas don't know how much information be online circulating all day. And I work. You know what I mean? Like I work, I have my own business, and I fucking, I do this shit. You feel me? So when I get off of work, sometimes when I get off of work, I just want to go to sleep. You feel me? I don't even want to fucking talk about no shit. I might just want to watch a movie. You feel me? But like I'm learning more and more about the podcast shit. You know what I mean? Streaming and shit. Cause I'm only really streaming really on YouTube like that. Yeah, we got a TikTok. Um, I'm about to start putting more shit on our TikTok. Cause it do be a lot of shit going on. In my hood alone, it's always something to talk about. But I don't like talking about my people, the people that I fuck with. So, and plus, y'all probably don't know, but we got crazy ass stories where I'm from too. But I be looking at, our neighbors. I be looking at New York. Um, a few things that I wanted to highlight today. New Haven, and it's not anything new, but New Haven has the best pizza. I know a lot of people probably don't believe that shit, but it's true. New Haven, Connecticut, has got the best pizza, and more people are starting to finally like give in. New Yorkers are giving in. Chicago people that's coming here for the first time are giving in. Like a lot of people that's coming to Connecticut are starting to say the same shit. They starting to say, "Yo, I fuck with New Haven. Like they pizza is like they really got some they got that shit." Now we got other people from Connecticut that's saying that they shit is better, they pizza, but it's not. It's not. New Haven got the best pizza in Connecticut. So when other people start claiming it, they just instead of them just embracing that they from the same state that the best pizza is from, they want to say that their city got the best pizza. And it's not true. New Haven got the best pizza in Connecticut, hands down. If you ever a tourist and you want to come to New Haven for whatever reason, or you want to come to Connecticut for whatever reason, stop in New Haven, look it up online, Google that shit. You know what I mean? Google who got the best pizza, and they're gonna tell you New Haven, Pepe's or Modern got the best pizza. That's what they're gonna say, or they're gonna say Bar. Bar is decent. Bar ain't even on that. Um, but let's get right to it. Fuck the pizza. Fuck all that shit. Let's get to the real shit. What niggas really want to talk about. So, when the system fails, deaths, accountability, who gets protected? Um, it's a lot of things that I want to open up, and I want if people bold, y'all could come up here on the panel. We could talk shit. If you trolling, obviously, I'm not. You know what I mean. But if you really have a challenging discourse, then yeah, let's get up here. Let's chop it up. I'm open to that. But I mean, this really doesn't really need a debate. It just needs a voice. Like at the end of the day, we all understand that the way that ICE handles a lot of these situations is it's kind of fucked up. Like the same day when the situation happened with Shorty, the same day when that happened, the school right down the street, all ICE agents was around the school parked. Then they get out of school, you feel me? Now the kids is all spazzing, all the kids is mad and shit, you know what I mean? Because of what happened. They wilding. Kids just trying to go home. But they trying to take people parents. They trying to take the kids' parents from the school. And the same, like right after they murked this lady, they still at it. They still trying to get more motherfuckers. They ain't even want to take a break. You know what I mean? To me, it's kind of wild, like that. It's going down like this because I look at this as like it's a violation of our civil rights type shit. At the end of the day, like if they doing it to white people, I'm sure they would do it to black people. But the thing is, like, black people know better, and this is my thing. I'm really on just don't protest. Like you protesting for something, cause white people that's the thing, man. Y'all get up and y'all protest about everything. Oh, the corn's not yellow enough. Like y'all protest about a lot of shit, and it's like black people just want one thing. They just want bread. They just want to make it to the next day. Like, you feel me? Like they don't really give a fuck about no other shit than making sure that they good, they family good. That's it. Yeah, they do care. Like black people do care about other black people, but we so fucked up that we gotta worry about ourselves first, type of shit. Like we really on that. Like it's not that they don't care about what's going on with the Mexicans. Cause I be hearing a lot of us be talking. You know what I mean? But I ain't catch one of them motherfuckers in that shit, in them rally shits. Everybody I see, I might see an Asian on the joint. I might see the LGBT community person standing up for Pascal or whoever. Might see a couple actors or whatever because they got bread. But like from the hood, like they talk a good one about it, but they not out here. You know what I mean? We got our own problems to worry about. So who's getting protected? Like when we thinking about who's getting protected with this shit, um, I think protection is US dollars. I think that's what they really care about more than anything else. It's not really civil safety. You know what I mean? Like what's going on right now is really just we're well, Donald Trump is worried about pushing people out. You know what I mean? Because he feels very strongly that what he's doing, pushing people out and you know, deporting people and all that, he feel like that's necessary. It's a necessary evil. It's something that we gotta do. I know we don't want to do it, but we gotta do it. Like deportation right now is the Brussels sprouts of America, right? Don't steal my quote. I said it first. Deportation is the Brussels sprouts of America. What I mean by that? Like you don't like them, but it's good for you. You know what I mean? You don't like it, but it's good for you. Like that's really what it is. Like it's really like you don't like it, but it's good for you. That's what it is. A lot of people don't like it, but it opens up the job market. It makes it raises the prices for businesses in America because they can't hire people for a cheaper rate and expect people to just eat that. When they realize that people aren't applying to their job at the current price point, they're gonna hire their wages, which affects the people that currently work at the job. It should because that would affect attrition. So, agree or disagree, I think the approach is worth a shot because it's like you try everything else and nothing works. I guess then this is our only other option. People claiming they don't have enough jobs. People claiming this, that, whatever. You know, now there's more opportunities for the people that live here to work that claim they don't got a job. Now you could work. Now you don't gotta be homeless. Now you got healthcare. Now you got this. Now you got that. So there's no more excuses. But there's always gonna be excuses. There's always gonna be something that's not enough or something that we need. How do you fix everything? You know what I mean? And I'm not even giving um Trump a pass. But how do you fix everything? You can't fix everything. You can only fix some things. What up? What up? I'm going live. But you gotta start somewhere. You know? What up? Gotta start somewhere. So my whole point is that yeah, that you can't fix everything in 4 years. You know what I mean? It's gonna take you time to fix anything. But at least you make an effort.
What you in?
All right.
I was gonna work out, but you're busy, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I didn't know you was gonna come and work out. I would have worked
Yeah,
out.
nigga, it's Monday. I told you we're gonna start it out this month, right? But anyway, we'll do it tomorrow.
All right, man.
All right.
Um, trying to take care of ourselves, man. Health is wealth. Uh, but at the end of the day, you you have to try to do something within that term. So his focal point, why they elected him, is the same they elected him. You feel me? And I'm saying they because however I feel, whatever I say, I stand on what I stand on. I'm about black people. So even if she was this much black, I voted for her because she was black. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't even care about, oh, she's not FBA and yo, what it means for me to have a black president, it just means hope. Cause I don't want to run for president. Not even really. I don't want to run for president. But I know that I would want actual equality. I would want actual rights for everybody. I would want everybody to be in a position to be able to do it. It won't be no DEI. If we find out that you discriminated against people that's hiring, you're gonna lose money every fucking time. Every time that your company is not hiring people and discriminate, it don't need to be no affirmative action. It don't need to be no DEI. You're going to fucking lose money because when they sue you, you're going to have to pay every fucking time. So you're either gonna hire people that are qualified for the position, or you're gonna fucking get fined. You know what I mean? Simple as that. Fuck this. Oh, you have to have a quota of. Listen, if it's not any black people that qualify, if it's not any women that qualify, if it's not any LGBTQ community people that qualify for this position, then they don't fucking get it. What the fuck? You see my skin? I don't care. Because if you're good enough to get the job, it's not fair that a person that works just as hard as everybody else doesn't get the opportunity. But it's not fair that a person that works harder than a person that works just as hard as anybody that was afforded the opportunity, who exceeds the expectation, who gets the additional education that they need to get that position, doesn't get it. You know what I mean? I don't care what fucking color you are. If it's a black person that comes into the office and they've gone to the best college in the country, they've got high marks, they was class valedictorian and all this other shit, and they've done everything they could possibly do in life. And there's a white boy that comes in who his father is, owner of the company or some shit. And he went to school, he qualifies for the position, if he gets the position and he doesn't have more accolades than the other person, and that other person didn't at least get a position there, and he was surpassed over him, that company gonna have to pay a fine. You know what I mean? It's not about competition. It's about fairness because the competition is amongst the competitors. The competition is amongst the competitors. So the people that's actually competing deserve the competition. You know what I mean? They deserve the opportunity to go for the gusto and go, you know what I mean? Because they going against each other. Then it's fair because the best is the best. It doesn't matter. When, what, well, not even when, but why will we continue to select people based off of the color of their skin? Why would we attempt to not hire people based off the color of their skin? Like that shouldn't be a thing at all. So the kind of thing like affirmative action to me felt like it was always like a smack in the face for African American people because we probably didn't know at the time, but as you go through life, you realize that's not really for you, bro. You know what I mean? Because it was mad jobs that had like two black people. You know what I mean? So it was like it was a normal thing for us to not be selected. You know what I mean? But shit, when the system fails, dev accountability and who gets protected. when the system fails, nobody gets protected. Like, let's expound on that. Like, who really benefits when the system fails? The whole point of the system is to protect people in general. So the system was created to protect us at the end of the day. That was always the main agenda, to protect the people. The government, the government's responsibility is to make sure that the people, because the government is like the umbrella. So the government's responsibility is to make sure that everybody under that umbrella don't get wet, don't get fucked up. That's the government's responsibility. And it seems that people think that that system is broken because of incidents that we record on social media. So you'll see somebody getting beat up by a cop or whatever. But all you see is somebody getting beat up by the cop. You don't see what led to that person getting beat up by the cop. And first thing people say is it don't matter why. Well, yeah, it does matter why. Why did the cop beat up anybody that they ever beat up? There was a point in time where cops was just beating fucking black people up. Like, black people was just getting beat up just because you was black and it was Tuesday. But after Rodney King and the riots and all that shit, they was like, man, they not gonna act like they did back in the fucking 60s and 50s. They gonna be fucking shit up. They don't give a fuck. So we gotta stop this shit. And we showed they ass that we gonna do it again when the Floyd shit happened. You know what I mean? It didn't matter that he was a meth addict or whatever he was. None of that mattered at the end of the day, because we noticed that it was an opportunity for a cop to use excessive force and get away with it. And we was done. We didn't want nobody else getting fucking killed by a cop and allowing that shit to fly. You know what I mean? So people stood up. People stood on their shit about that shit. Now, there's the facts that the organization was started by a LGBT couple. You know what I mean? It was the facts that a lot of the people that was running the organization weren't actually black. So this whole Black Lives Matter shit was just some way for people to get money, and people profited off of it. But regardless of what they got from it, there is something else that we did receive. Like, it brought us together. And they always say, like, we only come together on some bad shit. We never come together on something good. But I don't give a fuck. It brought us together. So only way to look at it is that it did actually unite us on an ideology. You know what I mean? And we recognized that this shit was fucked up. And people in the government recognized that that shit was fucked up. So they started to take notice that, all right, yeah, so there's some shit that's going on, and we got to do better to make sure that that this doesn't happen again. I mean, it happened again and again and again and again, and it keeps happening, and just happened again with this lady Nicole, who's not even black. That's the thing. It's really like, okay, if you somebody, then they gonna look out for you. If you nobody, they're gonna take their time because they know people paying attention, but they're not gonna jump on that shit quick as fuck. That Charlie Kirk shit, they gave this motherfucker a holiday. They fucking yeah, Charlie Kirk Day. This nigga got a Charlie Kirk Day, and they was trying to take Martin Luther King Day away. Like, what the fuck? Because they did say he was like Martin Luther King, so which is retarded. I mean, I'm sorry, I can't say that word. Damn, let me forget. Which is crazy. But the point is that the government is supposed to, quote unquote, protect you. That doesn't mean that they're generally going to protect you, right? We want them to protect us, but what they're doing is protecting their interests, right? They're securing a vote for the next term. They're they're praying to uh, whatever your desires are. You know what I mean? It's just like it's like a fucking class election. It's more a popularity contest than it is really for what we really need at the end of the day. Nobody gives a fuck about what their policies are. A lot of people sit here and argue about which president is better and which one is worse and can't name 5 policies that either one of them has. Which is crazy to me. I mean, so it's really just going off of like, man, he said grab him by the pussy. How many times your boys done said that? Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm surprised that he said it because he a politician. But I don't know if I'm upset that he said it or I'm just like, probably I don't know. I probably felt a little more admiration towards him when he said that shit. I was like, what the fuck? I know women gonna kill me for that one, but you don't understand. Like somebody to just stand on whatever they say and just have no filter, even when they're a professional, is crazy. I've talked about it several times. I wish in job industries they allow you to have a purge period where they don't care about the customers for that day. They're like, all right, I'm gonna allow you guys to just go crazy. Just today. When the customer calls in, say whatever you want. And I want the calls for that day. I want to hear every single call that day. People gonna be calling like, hello? Yes, hey, fuck you. How you doing today? Excuse me? You heard me. What you want? Like people just calling in and people just talking crazy to them. And they're like, you're gonna book my trip and you're gonna respect me. I will book your trip, but I don't have to fucking respect you. Now, where are you going? Oh my God, that'd be amazing. It'd be so many complaints. It'd be all types of shit. That's the thing. If you do it, whatever business you work with has to be in on the fucks up shit. Cause they gotta be like, yo, sometimes we gotta give these customers, you know, what they give us. Imagine if your boss does. I'm that kind of boss. I probably would do that. I'd probably be like, you know what? We made enough money this year. And it wouldn't be everybody. I'd have somebody go through all the lists of customers. I'd be like, if these people call, nobody's gonna believe their complaints. Who sees the complaints? We do? Okay. We're gonna have a whole plan. We're gonna delete the call log for that whole day. We're gonna be like, yo, it was a system failure. Somebody put off a electromagnetic pulse bomb in the lobby. You can't prove it because they left. They had it in their book bag and then they left. All our data crashed. The government is supposed to protect us, but they just like it's like with any business because the government is a business, and you can either be a corrupt business or you could be a fair business. A fair business is like they still have structure. You still got merits. You know what I mean? Things that they rate you on as an employee, because any any business knows that in order for the business to run smoothly, you got to have structure. You got to have a plan. So you can't like just run. You just can't say, "Hey, I'm gonna open this restaurant." Like something as simple as a restaurant. You can't just be like, "I'm gonna open this restaurant and serve food." You got to have a menu. You got to have pricing. You got to have specials probably. You know what I mean? Maybe something that's a routine. Maybe you serve cheeseburgers, fries, and a drink for $5 for a combo, and if you get any one of the items up there, it's going to be 250 per. 250 for just a drink. 250 for just a. It's got to make sense. But you got to have a system, and that includes the people that work for you. It's got to be a system for them, because the way that you run the business, you want everybody to run the business the way you would run the business. So you have to have your plan, and it has to be simple. It can't be like something mad difficult. Like they gotta say like all this shit when you come in there to get a burger and shit. People not gonna want to eat. They're gonna be like, the fuck this motherfucker talking about? Thank you for coming to Roof's Chris, the best place on earth where we serve waffles, chicken. They go through the whole fucking menu. Our hours of operation are from. Yo, shut the fuck up. Look, I want nuggets. Y'all got fries? Can I get that? Like, who want to hear all that? Like, that's one of the first rules in business. Like, they teach you a 60-second pitch. You should be able to sell this product in 60 seconds. And that's the most difficult thing, because you got to be able to prove to the consumer that your product is worth them buying it. You have to not know that they need it, but you have to make them need it. Like they try to sell stain remover and be like, have you ever got a stain on the rug and it just wouldn't come out? Like, yeah, like that. Blah, blah, blah. And they start talking about it. Well, I got a solution for you. This works every time. And then boom, you sold it. Or you didn't. Well, prove it to me. You got to prove it. But sometimes you get an asshole person who like, no, I don't want it. You know what I mean? And not just saying they don't want it, because that's not really an asshole. That's just you're not interested. But when they start to insult you because you're doing your job, like that's like fucked up. Get the fuck away from me. Should be making me mad. Don't fucking call here anymore. They ain't take them off the list. It's not my fault. Let me see if we got any updates on what's going on with this. I know the president of China is he talking hella shit. Like, I mean, he talking in Chinese, but like every time they translate what he's saying, it's always a threat. Like he ain't do nothing yet. He like I ain't gonna do it, but I'm telling you what I'm gonna do. Like it's like he's very provocational, and a motherfucker just want to start some shit. He like wish a nigga would. He like really like, all right, go ahead, step on my sneaker, and he put his shoe right in front of where you walking. Like you can't walk right there. You can't walk right there. You can't walk right. Like he one of those type of niggas. Like he just won't let you just leave him alone. Like you gotta fight this nigga. Just get it out. Just fight this nigga, man. Just get it over with. Huh? Nah, the Chinese nigga, yo. What's this nigga name? I forgot this nigga name. Let me look up his name. Chinese. president. This nigga named Chang. Fucking, his last name is Chang. It's his first name. Oh, nah, Z. His name is Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping. That's his name. This nigga he looked just like this nigga that was in this movie, yo. Like, he looked exactly like that nigga. That nigga was thorough, too. John Woo shit. He might be thorough, yo. He might, like, sleeping, like, he talking mad shit. He like, yo, let Trump come over here one time and just think he gonna sit over here and have some tea with me and shit. I'm a spin kick on this nigga, like, out of nowhere. He gonna do it mad quick. You ever seen the movie Kung Fu Hustle? That's my movie. That's me embracing movie. He gonna kick that nigga like that. He gonna kick that nigga like that nigga at the end with the ball spot. Kick that nigga in his face, gonna go to the side and shit. That movie was hilarious. Yeah, that shit crazy. Him in the ground. Yeah. That. Oh no, God. But the choreography in that shit was dope. Like, that was really like. I ain't watched that in a while. That was really a crazy choreography. Like, some of the shit was over the top, too much, but when they actually had like fighting the fights was kind of thorough. But yeah, that shit was funny. If you like that shit, you probably like Kung Pao. You ever saw that? Kung Pao funny as fuck too. It's kind of like that. But Kung Pao is really like literally more comedy than Kung Fu. That was actually made by an actual Kung Fu director. Kung Fu also? Yeah, I forgot who did it. But it was a nigga that made Kung Fu movie. Like, all those people that was in it was Kung Fu movie niggas. So all them niggas played in fighting movies before. The nigga that was smoking the cigarette, like, that nigga played in a Kung Fu movie before, back in the day. And they played in Kung Fu Soccer too, some of them niggas. Kung Fu Soccer was thorough too. That shit was crazy. But yeah, this nigga really. Matter of fact, that's who this nigga looked like. He looked like the dude from Kung Fu Hustle, yo. The nigga that was like, I ain't trying to be funny, cause if I got some Chinese people out in there, but the dude that had the rings on his arm, Lil Fruity, that's who Jinping looked like. Jinping looked like him, cause he got the part. You know that nigga had the part with the hair combed down on the side and shit. He got that same style. But that's why I think he'll fuck Trump up. Like, Trump old as fuck though. But Trump talk like he the one bombing niggas for real. Like, he talking like he the nigga fly. We flew these beautiful planes. Like, he be talking like he did that shit. Like, nigga, you just told these niggas to do it. Nigga, you ain't do nothing, nigga. That nigga Trump think he the baddest nigga though. That nigga, he be talking like he got some shit on him, like he got a Desert Eagle inside his lapel or some shit. Like, that nigga just ready, like he just talk mad shit. I guess that's why I fuck with him, yo. Like, I don't got no issue with Trump. You know what I mean? I think if if you give if you give a person that's an authority the green light and be like, yo, do what you think is necessary, and just a regular person dealing with people, somebody gonna get fucked up. I'm just letting you know, like, nobody gonna just be a security guard. Eventually, you're gonna get somebody, because you doing your job. You can't let people come in there. Sometimes they rude, but that's because they done had to tell a person not to come into the place 1,000 times already today. and now you the 1,001. So now they done been calm, and another nigga did it. Now it might be that they said something to this motherfucker because they was smaller than them, or it was an old lady or some shit like that, somebody vulnerable. Then that make them look like a bitch. But if it's like a big ass nigga and they just did it, they just crashed out. They just have niggas just be going through it in these jobs. They human, especially when you dealing with Karens, man. I ain't even trying. I ain't even trying to play that woman, man. But you know she was a Karen, yo. You know she was like. So don't sit here and act like Karens don't make your job difficult. And anybody that got a job, if you deal with a Karen, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a Karen that, well, even if it's a Karen that work at your job, if she's a Karen. But you know what I mean by a Karen. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to deal with that. You know what I mean? And then you telling them what it is, and then they just pull off. And then he said bitch after. He said bitch after he shot her. Like I ain't even trying to laugh because it's not funny, yo. But like, yo, like she said drove off, right? After, she tried to drive off, he shot her, shot in front. He had to be in front of the car because it's a bullet from the front of the car. So people saying whatever, but he shot one bullet from the front, but he never really moved. He got the bullet in the front of the car, and then when she came, he got the two on the side. You know what I mean? So as fucked up as it is, it happened because she didn't stop. She wanted to drive off. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm not telling nobody to do that. I'm not gonna tell nobody to just drive off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if the cop, if the cop telling you to pull over, if you ain't got no reason to drive off, then don't drive off. Especially mad people recording you, like, you know what I mean? Like that cop not going, yo. And then somebody said, you think if she didn't drive off, the situation would have been different? What you think? What you think about that? You think if she didn't try to drive off, you think the situation would have been different? You talking to me? Yeah. What you talking about? That girl, that lady that got shot. You seen the video? By Ice? Yeah. Yeah, I seen it. You think if she didn't drive off, you think she still would have got shot? They shot her because she drove off. I watched it, but I ain't really paying attention. Well, they shot her after she drove off. I don't think because she didn't have a gun, so it was no reason to. If she was trying to flee the scene, they probably would have stood. So I like saying if she just stayed there, because if she ain't break the law or nothing, she would have been out of. She would have just went to jail and been out. You know, maybe the cop would have. I don't know. Maybe the cop would even got a smack on the wrist or something like that. Now he fighting for his freedom. Like I don't think he wanted to have to fight for his freedom. Some people are saying, "Oh, he wanted to do it." Like I don't think he wanted to do it. Like I really don't. Yeah, I don't think he wanted to do that shit. I think it just was a jerk reaction because he wanted to stop her vehicle, but he went for fatal. Like yeah, like he went for the fatal shot. Like you know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, like I don't know if he had to. I don't know if he had to take that shot. Like there was time, but a lot of people is saying is looking at it from like people are looking at it like they be doing shit like that. Like they be shooting cars off the street and shit. Like if you did it in a video game or some shit like that, that's not like real life. Like that's not the same. So I don't think these niggas understand how crazy that situation is to be in that situation. How quick to react you gotta be. Like if she in front of me and I'm trying to stop her car from moving, I might be thinking I'm gonna try to shoot her in her arm. You know what I mean? But that's still not a good idea because What if she stare and crash into somebody or something like that? Cause you so close. Like he close enough to shoot her wherever he want. But you're taught to shoot at center mass of your target. So if he using, because these are military dudes. These not just like regular civilian cops. They're military, and then they're appointed to this position as a civilian law enforcement or whatever to deport people. But they're not regular cops. Like they're not beat cops. So they're not. They should be trained more for public relations, but they're not. They're trained for harder situations. So I would argue they're trigger happy as fuck because I talk about from my personal experience when we were out there, because everybody learned how to shoot and everything. So when you're overseas, you learn how to do all this stuff, and while you're trained to do it, you want to be able to utilize what you did. Like you don't want to kill nobody or nothing, but you want to be able to use your skill set. So I'm just thinking like, yo, I want to go on a mission, and I'm not thinking in my head like I want to go on this mission to find a hostile and take them out. That's what I'm trained to do. So I'm really excited. Like it's not a video game. This is real life. I'm really excited to get out there and murk somebody. Like you feel me? Like that's really on my mind. Like, and I'm not thinking about that. Subconscious thought about it. That's why it's so harmful for us to send young men into the military, but it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And they say, fathers fight wars so their sons don't have to. But we have a war every decade. So it's like it's it's kind of crazy, but you're not even thinking about it. Like you want to get out of this office. Like you cooped up in here, and then when you get the opportunity to go on a mission, you like fuck. Cause a mission out there is a mission. Like it's not no training exercise or no shit like that. Like you really going out there to do what you do. So it's like, damn, like that's really what you thinking. So when we think about this, you know, these guys being on the regular ground with regular people, and the people are a threat to them, and they're given the green light. That's like you got a whole bunch of hitmen or mercenaries out there that's just ready to just, you know, take you out and go drink a cup of coffee. But we have people that don't obey the laws of the land, period, to regular cops. But they don't understand what, and then people are saying, oh, they need to be better trained or whatever. These guys are trained. You don't know how hard that shot was. like literally, like it was so close, but the accuracy to be like he took her out without blinking. With the vehicle in front of him, stopping to the side, getting her before she got too far, like vehicle in motion, like that was a lot going on. It's crazy that it played out that way. And then 6 months before that, he had a similar incident where he was trying to do the civilian thing. He took out a taser and tried to tase the motherfucker. So that's when he was like, all right, y'all gotta tighten up. But she's a civilian. So why are you treating civilians like that? They're not even criminals, is what people are looking at. But they're like, he's trained. He's a trained assassin, bro. Like that's what he's trained to do. And these people are fucking with what he's supposed to do. So it's a slippery slope. Like it's kind of fucked up. But it's definitely along the lines because like who's right and who's wrong? Well, they're both wrong. He's wrong for not practicing restraint, and if he wasn't ready for duty, he shouldn't have went back out there. But the other thing about these dudes is they want to be out there. They do not want to stay home or do light duty. They want to be out there with their brothers in arms. They don't want to, you know what I mean? So that's how they, just like basketball players, like they want to get out in the game when they injured. They don't want to, you know what I mean? But we can't lose you for the rest of the season. We need you to sit. And then he do some shit like this. And then the other thing was like with them having their faces covered. Like, you know, a lot of people, they don't want to listen to somebody that got their face covered. Like, oh, I can't see who you are. Who's this arresting me? What's your badge number? What's your name? You know, all of this other shit. And that's true. That could be anybody. That could be some fucking person kidnapping you or some shit. But if you know that they're out there doing what they're doing and you're intervening in what they're doing, then you can't say that anymore. If they just come to your house and just jump in your house and then start doing some shit, that's different. But they're going to public establishments and they're, I guess they're like interrogating people, and it's like who the fuck are you just interrogating us, like, you know what I mean, or whatever. So it do seem crazy, but if you watching the news, you know that this is going on, and they're probably going to targeted locations because they're trying to find certain people. They got a database of names or whatever, and they're going through that database of names, and this is where this person is going to be at. So they're looking for them because they know that some people are not willingly giving these people out. Like if you work with a whole bunch of people at your job, you might develop some type of relationship with those people. I mean, they're associates, but you still might have a fondness for those people that work at your job. So you might not want to just give them up. You know what I mean? If you can manage, you know what I mean? But if you're back up against the wall or whatever, and these law enforcement agents are coming in there, then you just be like, I don't know where they are or whatever. You got to look for them yourself. You know what I mean? Be on that type of time. But if they come in there, you can't be getting in their way. Like, no, you're not taking Maria Gonzalez. Like, yes, he is. What the fuck you mean? You ain't got no gun. That's sit your stupid ass down. You know what I mean, nigga? What the fuck? Like, niggas be doing the most. Like, I mean, not niggas, but these protesters. Damn, they was cool like a few months ago. Him and G, but they met in they was in South Korea. No, they ain't go to North Korea. These niggas got names that sound like they gonna fuck some shit up. Like we be having regular names like Bob and shit. These niggas be like Genghis Khan. Fucking that name sound like some shit. Like, nigga, we got Sir Arthur. Like, what the fuck? Shit don't even sound tough, yo. But don't fuck with us though, nigga. Shit. The last motherfucker that tried to fuck with us, we got they whole shit fucked up. Everybody was doing nuclear bombs. I don't play that shit no more. Wait, Chang reveals they cannot take on President Trump. Wait, what? What? Nah, he ain't say that. I don't believe that. I don't believe it.
The president's action in Venezuela and controlling Venezuela's vast oil reserves, China calling the move, quote, typical bullying by the United States. It comes after U.S. forces seized 2 more sanctioned oil tankers in the Caribbean and North Atlantic yesterday. The president securing up to 50 million barrels of oil turned over from Caracas to the United States for the U.S. to sell it at market prices. Joining me now is Gatestone Institute Senior Fellow Gordon Chang. Gordon, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. So much to talk about with regard to China this morning. Let's start on Venezuela. What do you think Beijing is thinking after seeing the president's actions in Venezuela and taking over the oil there? China, let me just point out, China is the largest customer of that oil from Venezuela.
Yes, China takes, what, 80% or so of Venezuela's exports of crude. And President Trump is not allowing the interim government of Delcy Rodriguez to load cargoes for China. Also, the Trump administration has told Rodriguez, look, you have to sever economic relations with China. Well, what has been China's response? Well, it's been rhetorical, but there's been no pushback. And it really appears that China is a lot of bluff and bluster, but it's not the superpower that everyone thought it was last week. You know, with regard to these seizures of tankers, the Russians are actually threatening to sink American ships. The Chinese are quiet, which really goes to show that the Chinese know the limits of what they can do, and they're just not taking on President Trump.
Yeah, I mean, look, we knew that China was going to be upset by this. I mean, China has been propping up Venezuela and has been partnering with Maduro on a number of ways. But the added issue of the president of the United States dominating the oil infrastructure there in Venezuela has to be a real punch in the face for Beijing right now. What are they going to do about this, do you think? How will they respond?
They're just not going to respond in any meaningful way because they can't. I think China right now realizes is in a very vulnerable position because it's not only losing Venezuela, it's losing Iran because a new government there may not be nearly as friendly to the Chinese as the current one. And China takes more than 90% of Iran's exports of crude. So China's going to be scrambling for energy. And when you consider that energy is the foundational brick of societies, the U.S., which has been the largest producer of oil for 8 years in a row, and is also the largest producer of LNG, the United States really is dominant, especially because we now control Venezuela's 303 billion barrels of proven reserves, plus also Exxon's relationship with neighboring Guyana, and with our great relationships with the Gulf states. So right now, the U.S. is in a
I don't understand how she could be jealous
though. When it comes to this critical commodity of energy.
Yeah. And the last thing Beijing wants is to have the United States having leverage because it knows that right now China has some leverage on rare earth magnets. Tensions are elevating between China and Japan. China has banned exports of dual-use goods to Japan's military.
Wow.
They're banning the military's use of rare earth exports to the country. Japan calling the stunt, quote, unacceptable and deeply regrettable.
They
China
always
sent
beefing, yo. They always beefing.
That equates to nearly
And they right there.
Of the element. And now
Like they always been like neighbors that hate each other, yo. Japan and China, even in the movies, yo.
Adding that
they
it was
always
directly
be
related
beefing with
to
each
the
other,
new
yo.
Prime Minister's remark in November
crazy.
that a Chinese invasion of Taiwan could trigger a military response from Tokyo.
Wow.
So what does Beijing do after the Prime Minister Sanai Takaishi
nigga named Takeshi, what?
They step up
nigga a samurai
and they hold back the exports of rare earth minerals. Your reaction?
Well, and yesterday, the Chinese Commerce Ministry announced the imposition of an anti-dumping investigation on Japan for dichlorosilicine. So really, which is used in chip making and really important. Yeah, but the problem with China is that they tried this in 2010 with a ban on rare earths to Japan. That collapsed in a couple months. China has never been more trade dependent in its history. And I'm not sure that Beijing, with an economy that is failing and with a debt crisis, is in any position to take on not only the United States, but Japan. I think at some point the Chinese realize that this is not in their interest to do this because they're picking fights with the world at a time when they are extremely vulnerable at home.
Well, I mean, how is this any different than what they've been doing to the United States, right? Holding back rare earth minerals and using it as leverage, making the U.S. hostage to whatever they want to do in terms of rare earth minerals. We need those rare earth magnets for the military. And now they're telling Japan the same thing. So what are your thoughts on how this plays out? Because we're waiting for the president to meet with Xi Jinping sometime this year. But now Beijing is telling many of its tech companies to stop any orders of NVIDIA's H200 semiconductor chips, to rely less on American technology, despite the president allowing the sale of those chips to China. Your thoughts?
Well, right now, China is in a position where it needs the H200 chips from NVIDIA. It probably will approve them, although we're not exactly sure. But NVIDIA expects to make shipments of H200s this quarter. Yeah. Interesting thing, though, is that there's Reuters reporting that NVIDIA is requiring upfront 100% payment for those chips, because I guess it doesn't trust China, and clearly it should not. I don't think we should be selling the H200s to China. This is part of a much broader conversation. We know the Chinese are violating their October 30 trade deal with President Trump already by not buying soybeans in the required quantities by the end of last year. And also, we don't have that rare earth deal that Treasury Secretary Bessent told you that would be inked by Thanksgiving. So, at this point, we should not be making concessions to China. Shit's crazy, man. Oh, yeah. So let me look up this whole shit with what's his name? Yak. That's his name. Fucking this black ass nigga. Let me see. This dude finessed 2 times. That's a funny ass dude. He got me crying. He a funny ass dude, man.
6ix9ine turned himself in. He got 3 months.
Oh yeah, he turned himself in.
Yeah. Dropped the last day out. You know how people drop the first day out? We dropped the last day out. With Aiden Ross and run the Aiden Ross boys.
Oh.
And they was dissing people out there. They was dissing Lil TJ. Talking about how he almost died at Chipotle and he was in there eating chips in the video, eating chips and guac. And then Aiden Ross beefing with Doechii.
Oh God. So why he beefing with her?
I forgot why he was talking about it. He said something about she said something.
He ain't never beefed with no. Who has he ever beefed with?
Nobody, for real.
But he beefed with a chick? Like, come on, man. This nigga crazy. This nigga crazy, man. Somebody else gonna come for him because he beefing with a chick. That Saucy Santana nigga gonna come for him. Huh. Nigga came for act.
That was crime.
What is going on in the world? What is going on? I know Pooh Shiesty got out. So everybody talking about Pooh Shiesty, but I don't want to talk about that. Yo, I keep seeing a lot of stuff about Greenland Secret. Chilla Jones. Yo, T.I. doing stand-up. What y'all think about that? T.I. doing stand-up. I think he need to
He need to go start rapping again, man. That's what I think. I don't think he need to be doing stand up. Yo, I heard Cassidy got a new rap out. I'm about to play a little bit of. I know I can't play it because if I play it, you're not gonna let me play it online. It's thorough. It's called This Too Easy. This Too Easy. Could I put it in the chat? Let me see if I can put it in the chat. This Too Easy. I don't think you could click the link. I don't know. I'll put it in the description, whatever. But that should go hard. Like that should kind of thorough, man. I miss when rap used to be like that. When rap used to really make you think. Like you feel me? Let me see what my homies send me. My homies be sending me crazy shit. That's how I be finding out, man. Shit. Looking at this wild ass shit they be sending me. That girl should have just. Somebody said the other day that girl should have just stayed in the house. Renee. She should have just stayed in the house. I do feel bad. Oh, you know who I just found out? I don't know if any of y'all conscious out there, but Sister Shahrazad Ali is on Instagram and she said blessings. She just verified her account. So now you know it's really her and shit. Because her account wasn't verified before. But yeah. I would hope we could interview her. Like I'd love to bring her on and interview her and just pick her brain about certain shit. Just because she not like a scientist or no shit, but she been around in life and she got good, good perspectives. It would be a good discussion. Now, 8 months ago, China was like, "Yo, they want all the smoke," but it's like now Iran going through some shit right now too. Like this was going on with Iran. I'm going to play this shit. Now Iran going through some shit right now too. Like this was going on.
Welcome back. Now, a revolution underway in Iran. Massive protests against Ayatollah Khomeini and its brutal regime are persisting in Iran, as Iranian citizens take to the streets over its failed economy and skyrocketing inflation, up 50%. Food prices surging more than 70%. President Trump has warned Khomeini there will be severe consequences if protesters are killed. But the Wall Street Journal is reporting that Iran is threatening to strike U.S. military bases in the Middle East if the U.S. tries to take down the Iranian regime. Here's the president on Friday.
Iran's in big trouble. It looks to me that the people are taking over certain cities that nobody thought were really possible. I've made the statement very strongly that if they start killing people like they have in the past, we will get involved. We'll be hitting them very hard where it hurts.
As protesters ramped up on Thursday, the Ayatollah dug in by cutting all internet service and international calls inside the country. The internet has been out for 60 hours so far, with Iranian officials also trying to jam up Elon Musk's...
Imagine if y'all lost y'all internet for 60 hours.
Have heeded the call
What?
of my next guest, the exiled Crown Prince of Iran, His Royal Highness Reza Pahlavi, called on the people to mobilize and take to the streets against the authoritarian government. Demonstrators calling for Pahlavi to return and to lead Iran. Pahlavi's father, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, was Shah of Iran from 1941 until 1979, overseeing key modernization initiatives in the country with close ties to both the United States and to Israel, until the extremists and the terrorists overwhelmed the monarchy, forcing the Shah and his wife, Empress Farah Pahlavi, to flee and the Ayatollah to return from exile. Iran then shifted overnight from a U.S.-allied monarchy to an anti-Western Islamic regime, soon to become the largest state sponsor of terrorism, funding Hezbollah and Hamas, among other groups. President Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio posting this weekend on social media that the U.S. stands with the people of Iran, with the president writing this is not the Obama administration when it comes to standing up to the Iranian Ayatollah and his religious Nazi henchmen, and standing behind the people of Iran, protesting for a better life. The president retweeted that tweet from Lindsey Graham, who will be joining me momentarily. To the regime leadership, Graham wrote, your brutality against the great people of Iran will not go unchallenged. Join me now in this Sunday Morning Futures exclusive. In the middle of these calls to return to power and free the people is His Royal Highness, the exiled Crown Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi. Your Highness, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Good morning, Maria.
We have seen other times when the people have risen up, but it feels different this time. You called for the people to mobilize for 2 straight nights this week. Does it feel different? Assess for us what is taking place this weekend in Iran.
Maria, to put it into perspective, in the last 48 hours, Iranians have suffered more casualties than America did after the 9/11 attack. This is a moment that is defining. Despite being completely cut off from the world, internet shut down, and for a regime that is massacring its own people, this is an opportunity to liberate that nation. Remember, the same thugs that hate America also hate their own people. And this is an opportunity to help a nation that starves for liberty, that starts to be rejoined with the free world, and to have the same relationship that we had with America before this revolution occurred, to liberate ourselves and come back to the fold and contribute to world peace and stability, regionally and beyond.
Now, Your Highness, you have called for the opportunity to become the transitional leader. You've said many times with me on this program, you are hoping to be a transitional leader. What is your plan in that transition? What would the first 100 days look like? Because we know that these protests are economic in nature. They are about food and life and democracy second.
Maria, I'm a fighter pilot. I've trained all my life for exactly this moment. And people are calling on me to step in and lead this transition. I'm here to lead and help our nation go through that transition. But beyond liberation, we have to have a plan for a stable, smooth transition, a plan that, unlike other scenarios we witness in our neighborhood, like the debathification in Iraq, will not lead to chaos. We have to ensure stability. We have to be able to protect the citizenry. We have to be able to stabilize the economy. And for that, we have very comprehensive plans. I'm helped by numbers of economists, scientists, jurists, and specialists in every field, so we can, in fact, address all of these issues the moment the opportunity comes. More importantly is what we're doing right now. As you can see, people are still fighting despite this crackdown. They hope that there will be assistance in protecting them from further bloodshed. I've called upon further strikes, and that's beginning to unfold. We're beginning to see more and more defections, which is very important as part of the transition. So all of this is at play as we speak.
You have tweeted directly at President Trump, and you have a message for President Trump. What is that message, sir?
Mr. President, you have already established your legacy as a man committed to peace and fighting evil forces. There's a reason why people in Iran are renaming streets after your name. They know that you're totally opposite to Barack Obama or Joe Biden. They know that you're not going to throw them under the bus as they have had before. This is why they believe that this time they are empowered by the hope that you have their back. Your words of solidarity with the Iranian people and your administration has had tremendous positive effect. Let's hope that we can permanently seal this legacy by liberating Iran so that we...
Well, he told them when he be warning people and they just be like, nah, I'm gonna do what I want to do. They end up with these issues. Just what's going on right now.
Jack Smith, in my opinion, is a criminal. And I noticed his interviewer was, I think that was Weissman. And I hope they're going to look into Weissman too. Weissman's a bad guy. And he had somebody in Lisa, who was his puppet, worked in the office really as the top person. And I think that she should be looked at very strongly. There was tremendous criminal activity having to do with. We don't have fair elections in this country. We're not going to have a country. And I've said it from the beginning, fair elections and borders. And we need also fair press. Because if you don't have fair press, it's very tough. And we've got the strongest border of anybody. Nobody has a border. We have a border where the numbers just came out again. You saw 0 people came in illegally. Now, we do take people into our country legally, but 0 people. But, you know, you're talking about a different subject. You're talking about political crime. They have committed massive political crime. I hope they're looking at Shifty Schiff. I hope they're looking at all these people. And I'm allowed to find out. I'm allowed to, you know, I'm, in theory, the chief law enforcement officer. but I have a very good, talented group. This is about something else, but I hope they're looking at political crime, because there's never been so much political crime against a political opponent as what I had to go through. They raided my house in Florida. It was an illegal raid. I have a lawsuit that was doing very well, and when I became president, I said, I'm sort of suing myself. I don't know, how do you settle the lawsuit? I'll say, give me X dollars, right? And I don't know what to do with the lawsuit. It's a great lawsuit, and now I won. It sort of looks bad. I'm suing myself, right? So I don't know, but that was a lawsuit that was very strong, very powerful. They raided illegally my house in Florida, Mar-a-Lago. They went through the drawers of my young son. They went through all of the cabinets and drawers of the First Lady. She walked in, she said, wow, what happened? Because she's very meticulous, and this wasn't so meticulous. As she looked into the drawers and she saw everything a mess. What they did against the person that just got out of office. And then you look at these corrupt people. You look at Hunter Biden. You look at the signature. As an example, the auto pen. I just signed so many different things. An admiral, a four-star general. I'm signing them left and right, the commissions. And by the way, I want to compliment John Thune and also Mike, our great speaker. But John Thune, all of a sudden I'm getting these things by the hundreds. I was getting one every 2 weeks. It would have been 4 years before you got them in more. You would have had some that didn't even get in, all because of Democrat obstruction. So John Thune did a great job. I must have signed 200 into the administration. We're just about caught up. It's amazing. And so compliments to John. He had to do some things that were very tough to do that he didn't want to do, but he was forced to do it by the Democrats. And as far as the shutdown's concerned, this is a Democrat Schumer shutdown. And he's trying to do it to get relevance back into the party because he's a loser. I've known him all his life. He's always been sort of a loser, but an intelligent one. But I think he's losing IQ points with time. I think that happens. I hope it hasn't happened with me. I know if it did, you guys will let me know about it very quickly.
Question on violent crime, sir. Here in D.C., a judge has given the two teenagers that beat up ex-Go staffer Big Balls probation.
Mm.
You guys hold it up, man. You deserve it more than me. So I'm going to give you another medal, though, that may be more beautiful. I'm not sure it means as much, but it's really good. Okay? This is gun medal. This is the one the military loves. So we're going to start. Okay? Thank you. Here you go. It's pretty nice. Want to compare it? Let me see. Compare it. Let me see how that looks. I don't know. That looks pretty good. But that means something very special. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Mr. President. You can do that around your neck. Get a nice ribbon. I think you'll like it. It's special. We don't give it to many people. Come on over here. Come here. Look at this guy. That's 4 sides up, big. That means a lot. Hey, General, come on over here, even though you have one. I gave him one. Huh? This is General Randy, a General Raisin Cake. He's a great general. Thanks very much. Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's an honor. This is a fantastic moment. Have it done.
this before. And the job they
All right, yeah. So I just wanted to give y'all some updates. Probably tap in a little bit later. But yeah, man. Appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell your people. You know what I mean? And SmileyJizzle, man, let's get lifted. 30 is a new 20, man. And I'm out.